Hello everyone. As we mentioned earlier, besides the background circle, I'm going to add another little dot below the text of the date so that it displays whether there is any item for a particular date. It could be an item count, it could be the number of entries, depending on what the user wants to provide in their target application. In here, we are just providing the utility for the target application to show accordingly. So let's use another CA layer to create a dot for it. Say I'm calling that as dot layer. And then I'm going to create a CA layer object in the command init method. Set the size through the frame. Again, I will set a 0, 0 position for now, and say the dot is a size of 4 by 4. And then I'm going to set the corner radius to 2. Basically, the dot will be a circular dot. Set the color for it. Say it is in blue color. Then add the dot to our current layer. And by now, we are able to preview it in our interface builder. The dot shows here, very little one. And I'm going to modify the position of it. Say it is the band stop width. Divide by 2. Minus the radius of the dot, like this. Then say I want to provide some Y position, for example 4 to it. So now the dot displays as a location that I like. Again, I'm going to turn this dot layer to hidden by default, so it won't show up. But for the development purpose, I still want to see it. So I'm setting it to show in the prepare for interface builder method. So we have set the both layers, and now it's time to configure when to display the circle and the dot. Let's switch to date item. In the configure method here, we are going to change a little bit. We can first handle the selected date, which will highlight in the background using the selected Boolean value provided by an_item. In fact, I'm going to override the selected variable and then update the style accordingly. So say I am overriding the variable of selected here. When it is set, likely from outside the current collection mail item, it will call a function of update styles. And then I define the function here, update styles. And then it will update the view. Right now our view is linked as view variable, but view itself is an object of NSView. We want to cast it to the date item view in order to call the variable inside. So say if let view equals to view as again date item view. So now we can access the variables inside view. Say circle layer of hidden equals to not selected, because when it is selected it should show. That means it is false to the hidden property. Now we can try to run the application and see how the selected affect the style. When I click on one of the dates, nothing happened. However, we do expect the date item we click on becomes selected, and thus the background circle should be appearing. Let's check for the collection view to see whether we set it to be selectable. This is the collection view. Check with the attributes here. Okay, we didn't check the box here as selectable. So let's do it now. And also we want to uncheck empty selection, because at the loading time it should be selecting the date of today already. So when it is no, it should already show red circle background for our current date as well. Let's do it one by one. Make sure it is selectable first and run this again. And now when I click on a date and switch to other dates, it is showing the red circle accordingly. Let's make sure the first date, which is today, is selected when we just load the application. Go back to calendar view. Let's do child 1 in view the appear method, where we can do a collection view dot select item at index path, provide one index path, although it is swapped in an array. I will hard code a value for now. Say item 2 in section 2. Section 2 is the date section. So let's see whether it selects one date when it is loaded. Okay, this is the item 2 of date session. So we can make use of this to select the current date. Let me first create a method here. Select date item, and I will get the selected index path by calling a method index path for date, like this. The date here would be our current date, so I can provide date here. Perhaps I can add another as select date. So they differ a little bit. By date is set as today, and then select today would be whatever it is selected. So let's change this to select the date. Of course, we will need to define this method index path for date. Let's see. Let's just write it here. This would take in date and return an index path. Right now, let me just hard code it. Like this. And then I can run the select item and index path here. Also, this will make sure only one date will be selected. Let's see, let's try to run it. We should return it as optional here, because maybe for the date provided, there is no index path. And then we need to make use of the date provided here to find the index path that we set up for our calendar. Let's say we will only allow the selection and the circle background to display for only the current month. I need to compare the month for today and the month for selected date. So it's better to call this back to selected date, so they don't have conflict on names. Let's do date dot month here. This date will be from today and equals to selected date dot month. Okay, we'll compare whether they are in the same month. If yes, the item for that will be the today's date. I'm going to grab the first date and start of month with date as the first with date plus the selected date dot day minus 2, and then return the index path using this item in the section of dates, like this. Other than that, I will just return new, so that it won't select the item. Let's try. So right now, today is 13. Okay, so it's not working. Let's see what's the problem. Because 13 should be selecting this one. Oh, in fact, while I have set this function here, I did not call it yet. So I should remove this. Now, when would be the good time to call this selected date item method? Probably it will be the time when the selected date is set at the beginning, and we assume that this selected date is provided by the target application. So let's say I change it to just ns date type, and then do a date set here. When it is set, the selected date item will be called. And since I expect it to change, so I need to change let to var. Perhaps I need to provide a default value here as well. So now I shall go to the target application and set the selected date, say to the current time. And now let's try to run it. Okay, as you can see, it is selected the correct date now. In fact, I just added a question mark as optional here to prevent someone set the selected date before it is in the view hierarchy, because by that time collection view is not instantiated yet, as the view from the lib file is not loaded yet. So now we have made the circle background available. It's quite long already. Let's leave the dot layer set up to tomorrow's session. I will see you soon again.